When you're thinking about your career options, it can be really helpful to just devote some time to really thinking about yourself, your personality, your values and your learning style, and then use these to critically evaluate any options that might be available to you. Your personality is obviously central to who you are, and it can play a really big role in how you prefer to do things and how you actually interpret the world around you. And in the workplace, it might have quite a strong effect on the way you approach various different tasks. You might do these in a completely different way to somebody else. So for example, the way you interact with colleagues, the way you plan and prioritise your time, the way that you might deal with challenging or difficult situations may be quite unique to you. So when you're thinking about your career options, it's really important to think about your personality and start to consider things like the behaviours that come most naturally to you, and the strengths that these bring, and perhaps also how you might react in certain situations. One way of starting to think about this can be to talk to your friends and family, and often this can be quite humorous, particularly when you ask the question, how would you describe me to somebody else? But perhaps a more objective measure might be to use something like a personality questionnaire or inventory, and the Careers and Employability Service does have one of these available via their website. It's based on the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which was developed from the work of the psychologist Carl Jung, and it allows you to look at your personality in different ways and receive a personalised report that might be helpful. Your values also make up a really important part of your identity. They can affect the way you feel about certain career options, how comfortable you might be in certain workplace environments, or how appealing you find different workplace cultures. Your values will shape what's meaningful and important to you, and they play a big role in what motivates you and the types of career objectives or goals that you might actually set for yourself. So for example, if I was to say to you, you've been offered two jobs, one which gives you fairly early responsibility and quite grand status, and the other that offers you a really good work-life balance and plenty of opportunities for personal and professional development, which one would you choose? Perhaps neither. Perhaps you'd be more interested in how you might be rewarded, whether that be through salary, through benefits, or through recognition. Or maybe it's actually who you might work with that's important, and the characteristics and behaviours of those people. Again, there are various different ways that you can start to explore your values and think about what that means for your career. And one way that you might like to do that is by using the value-based indicator of motivation, which is an online tool, again offered by the Careers and Employability Service. What it does is it looks at a number of different factors, and then based on the answers that you give to a series of questions, it will personalise a report and give you some indication of what your values may be. So whether you're starting a brand new graduate role or you're changing careers later on, there's bound to be a lot of new things that you're going to have to learn along the way, information you need to gather and things you need to start to understand in different contexts. So it's really important to have an understanding of your learning style. If you think about when you're at university, there might have been certain lectures, seminars, workshops that you found more interesting than others and you were perhaps more engaged with, and then there were those that you perhaps didn't engage with so much. That might well be due to your learning style and how you actually learn best. So an understanding of your learning style can help you to maximise certain opportunities and to recognise when you might have to put in a little bit more effort or tune in differently to make the best of a learning situation. And this can obviously be applied in a workplace context as well as at university. So with this in mind, you might find it helpful to complete the online learning styles inventory that's also offered by the Careers and Employability Service. All the tools I've mentioned are available online via the Careers and Employability Service website. You will need your university username and password to log on and actually access these, and you'll also need to provide an email address so that your personalised report can be sent directly to you. So once you've received your report, it might be helpful to take some time to think through it and then to actually book an appointment to come in and talk to one of our advisors in a little bit more detail and try to begin to evaluate some of those career options.